YCS Niagara has concluded, along with the opening weekend for Rage of the Abyss. We have some new support coming for Orcust, along with Punk and Dragon Maid, which will be announced later, and we also have some new Gem Knight support. So we're going to start off here with the Orcust support. This was just announced over the night. They're getting a brand new Link 1 and a Link 4, along with this cool deck box that we will never see. I love when OCG does this. They give some really nice deck boxes. They did the same thing last year or the year before when they had, what was it, Underworld Goddess, Pep, Chaos Ruler, Kurikara, and a few other cards all had like custom made themed sleeves, deck boxes, etc. It was really cool. And again, they're doing that same thing with their holiday box this year. So I want to touch on these because this Link 1 is insane and the Link 4 is pretty busted too. So, Link 1, Galatea I, or Galatea 1, I don't know exactly what that is, but you can only Link summon it once per turn, cannot be used as mats for an XC summon. You can only use the first and second effect of the card's name each once per turn. You can send one card from hand to grave, add one World Legacy monster, or Orchestrated Babble from deck or graveyard to hand. Okay, so you get your field spell. If this card's in your grave, you can banish one other Orcust card from your grave, special summon this card. Okay, Link Climbing. Pretty cool. So you'd use this, and then you'd be able to get another Orcust, go into the Galatea Link 2, and then you can bring this back, go into Link 3, or bring back another monster, go into the Link 4. Really cool Link 1. Every single archetype's getting a busted Link 1 here recently. Blue Eyes just got one. Orcust is getting one. Just kind of wild how their solution is, hey, archetype support, give them a Link 1, buddy. Oh, when's Plunder Link 1 coming? And then we have Enlil Girsu, the Orcust Mech Knight. Link 4. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. You can target one of your banished Orcust or World Legacy cards, add it to your hand, then you can shuffle one card from your hand into the deck to take control of one face-up monster your opponent controls. Non-targeting. Okay, cool. If this card's in your graveyard because it was sent there from the EMZ this turn, you can banish it, send one card on field to grave. Non-targeting send. Cool. People are very excited for this, as we will see with the Orcust buyouts, which we'll get into here. Harp Horror, $150 minimum. 2 listings on all of TCG Player. Galatea ultis are up. Ding ultis are not quite as up, because as a competition here from the Quarter Century, Plat Secret, PCR, PUR, Secret, all that kind of stuff. OTS Super Symbols are about $1. Orcust Nightmares are 2s. Orchestrated Babble Supers, do keep a lookout for these. These are about 50 cents right now. However, I feel like these could have some potential. Girsus are way up again. No real shock there. And then with the holiday box, we already know the rest of the support will be Dragon Maid and Punk. So far Orcust has 2 cards, so we can assume that the other 2 archetypes are going to get 2 cards also, unless there's going to be more added later. However, Dragon Maids are all up. They have been since the announcement of this holiday box. Plus, Dragon Maid has always kind of been up and up because it's a fan favorite archetype. It's waifus, it's dragons, 2 Yu-Gi-Oh players' favorite things in the entire world. So if you guys have these sitting in bulk, dig them out. You guys can have a nice trade bait. Punks. So with the Orcust support too, we saw Quarter Century Foxy Toon, very low in listings now, $50. CR is sitting about 15s, and then CR Ogre Dance is completely bought out to 30s. And then keep an eye on these Monstrous Revenge reprints of the Punk cards. So Ogre Dance got a secret, Foxy got a secret, Punk, the Dragon got a secret, but then Shirakusai, Xiamen, Deer Note, they all got Ultras. Just keep an eye on those. They are very plentiful in listings since they came from a Battle of the Legends set. There are so many Ultras of these, but keep them in mind because we could see a slight uptick in these if the support is good enough. Oh, and then more support. Gem Knight support for Terminal World. Woo! it's like not bad either, which is kind of cool. So this is the 4 cards that Gem Knights are getting. We won't touch on these now. If you guys want to look them up, you can. I'm sure YG Organization has a post on these. This is Construct with Lazuli, which is kind of cool, just furthering the Hidden Arsenal lore. So kind of cool. And we also get the first look at the pack art. Here we have the Jirax, we have the Fableds, we have the Gem Knights, and we have this 4th archetype that has not been announced yet for support. However, it's really important to look down here. Right here. It's Necros, baby! So we'll touch on that here in a sec. First, I want to go touch on Brilliant Fusion. So Brilliant Fusion ultis are way, way up. People are very much so like, hey, Gem Knight support, maybe we can get Brilliant Fusion back, even if it's just to 1. Maybe it can happen. I mean, anything's possible. The secrets are 30 listings, and then both supers are still widely available. So people are buying into this hype. Lady Brilliant Diamond 2, 5 listings. This is insane. This is first at, like, Jesus, 4 listings. $20+. Yeah, people are really excited for this Gem Knight support. And that shows here, too. If we look at the DTs are all very, very, very gone. It doesn't matter for which card, but all of them are gone. Actually, I think this was like 20-something, so... yeah, somebody come scoop this. This light play up. Near mint, 25. Light play, 364. Kind of cool. Yeah, but several sales of this since the Gem Knight support got announced. Master Diamonds, I have the secret of this. It looks pretty cool. Sitting about $1. I think he's still limited too, isn't he? DT sitting 10.5. Then we touch on Necros. So how do we know that 4th archetype is Necros? Come on down here. Necros Mirror is the exact thing that you were seeing in that artwork at the bottom left that I told you to watch out for. And these are all gone. Necros Brianak is $30. Trish is 10+. The Gungnir ulti is, about 7. Sophia secrets are 8+. Ultis are on 10, 11+. Just people are prepping, because once the support does get announced, these cards are going to get bought out even further, just like we've seen every other time in the past. I don't know a ton about this archetype, actually, so I didn't play when this archetype came out, and I have not been familiarized with this archetype. So hopefully when the new support comes out, this gives me a chance to kind of learn how this deck functions. YCS Niagara, we saw a lot of interesting things. So Fire King ended up winning it. Fire King, Azamina, Snake Eye, Diabellstar, just fire pile essentially. But this did end up winning the event. However, the main thing that people were really hyped for was the 2nd place, which was Sky Striker. Yep, no mulch armies, just raw Sky Striker. Pretty cool, actually. This was really nice to see, and it was kind of a really widespread representation of decks here. So we had the 60 card. I'm pretty sure this was a 60 card Millennium Yubel pile, or am I thinking the Exodia? No, the Exodia was 42. I think I'm thinking this one that I saw a video on, because I see this Millennium engine here, and it was like Millennium, Fiendsmith, Yubel, and then Kashtira, I think. It was a really cool deck profile. It was like a 60 card pile, if I remember right. But a lot of different decks were represented. Yes, Fire is still well and beyond the most represented deck in the room. However, Pack even went undefeated through Swiss with Centurion of all things. So it is not like a complete wipe of a format. Yes, Fire and Yubel are still strong. They still need a few more hits, but Sky Striker got 2nd. No mulch armies at all. So anything is really possible in this format. Speaking of Sky Strikers, so we did see a little bit of movement on the ultis. Ultis are sitting about $10 now. However, everything else is still pretty plentiful here. If we saw a Sky Striker first, I feel like these would have gone. Like, people would have been very hyped. but it is just a matter of time until we start receiving the other imports for the Sky Striker support. Like, we're still missing Camellia, we're still missing, I think, a couple other cards from the Sky Striker manga that we just haven't gotten yet. Azalea is still in need of a reprint. Who knows when that's going to happen. Primera, so I said Pack went undefeated during Swiss with Centurion. 18 listings. Primera from the tins. These are $12+ now. And kind of a similar thing happened here with Trudea. 30 listings. $9. Not quite to the same extent, but Legatia did see some sales. Sitting about $3 a copy on Legatias. And then Emblemaos are 14 listings. $10, $11, $12 a piece on these. Just wild. Actually, so wild. Ulcanix did see a little bump up in price too. This was sitting about the $13 to $15 mark on opening for Rage of the Abyss for the weekend. However, it's sitting closer to the $19 to $20 mark now. No shock, this card is very strong, and it was a 2-of in the Fire King deck that ended up taking Niagara. And then, High Avatar Garunix is also seeing some sales, mainly for the Ultra from the old Fire King structure. These are sitting about $6-ish a piece. You can play the common if you want. It came out of the new Fire King structure. However, people are just gonna want the foils to bling out their deck. Arvada was really weird. This got a buyout all the way up to like $20-something a piece. I think on Saturday, Sunday, somewhere around there. And it actually saw some sales here at 20. Somebody paid $20 a copy for 2 of these. $40 just for them to repopulate at less than $4 a piece. Just funny little thing that happened. These are available now though. Whereas over the weekend there was like 2 listings, I think. Engraver's seen a very, very heavy fall from height. $65 a piece on the Engravers now for the secrets. I honestly didn't expect him to come down this much, especially with the Azamina stuff coming out. But this is good that he is, you know, getting to be a little bit cheaper. So people, if they do want to play Fiendsmith, even though it's probably going to get killed in next list or the following, I mean, go for it. You can get 2 Engravers for the price of what one used to be now. Perulia, so Perulia and Fubulos, you can play both of them. You can use both of them. You can use 2 of a single copy of either one per turn. So Perulia is up, $60-ish per copy. This is insane because this, at the lowest, I think was 30. And yeah, it's just proven its spot in the format. Just insane to see. Next card is going to be Fulos. Fulos is about 140 still. There's no real shock there. As for the rest of Rage of the Abyss, Dominus Impulse saw a very heavy representation. This card is so good. The secret is now 60+. I think on opening it was 30. 30 to 40-ish. However, these are 60+ now. Just, again, no real shock. This card is insane. And it doesn't... If you're not playing these archetypes, there's no restriction. Really, the big one you have to worry about is light. If you are playing a lot of non-engine, like this will make it so you can't use Nibiru or Effect Veiler. However, Earth and Wind aren't too big of restrictions. Wind, yes, you can't use Fubulos, but honestly, that's not that awful, really. You can still use your Ash, you can still use your Perulia, you can still use a ton of other hand traps. Plus, you get access to this complete... No! It's a really, really good card, and I would not be surprised if it maintains about that price. Deception saw a lot of play this weekend, too. These are at around the $50-ish mark a copy. And then we have a lot of the quarter centuries. A lot of the stuff has fallen, like the Mimigul stuff is falling. Giants are no longer 10+, which is good to see. Thrones are about $2. These are going to be like 50 cents. Charms, again, these are going to be like 50 cents. This Primate stuff, keep an eye on this, because these may, you know, be worth a couple bucks in the future. The Shadow Squad. This saw a really insane day one. If you guys saw the prices of this early in the morning on Friday of release day, these were like $6+ a piece. And there were 5 listings. I remember sitting there refreshing Rota listings, and somebody had listed 30+ copies of Shadow Squad Ultras at $1. And I went to go buy 3 just to kind of have. But as soon as I got to the cart, they were all gone. Somebody just came in and bought all 30 copies. It was insane. And then lowest around that time was $6. Just what opening weekend does to an MF. Abyss Shark. Abyss Shark has seen a healthy rise back to where it was upon the Shark support announcement. About $11.50 to $12 a copy. Shout out Abrams. Abrams is really chill. I love that dude. Very big supporter of both my channel and YGO Fresh Off the Press. Mr. J's. Tapatio also. Another one of the homies. These are sitting about $12-ish a piece. Not too awful, I guess, if you're going to be playing Sharks. Next card is OSS. OSS from the tins, specifically. So, Gamer's Choice has a massive wall here. But we want to look at the listings. 22 listings. Why are there only 22 listings of this? This is one of those times that makes you really want to think. It's because everybody was playing Snake Eyes, Fire King, Azamina. Like, it's just, get rid of this card, please. So many degenerate things with that card. We already touched on Shadow Squad. Let's move on to the next card. Lancia. So Lancia, quarter centuries. These are way, way up. Listings are getting a little lower. These are sitting around the $21+ mark per copy. Lancia is going to make a comeback, especially once Malice comes out, because Malice is a banish deck. Because this says, during your opponent's turn, you contribute this card from hand or face-up field. Neither player can banish cards for the rest of the turn. So, it's just a matter of time before this comes back. We saw it during cash format, see a pretty big spike. And yeah, with more banishing decks coming into the format, so many more decks being able to play Shifter, or D-Fissure, or Lancia. Just, you know, if you have these, just keep an eye on the buyouts on this. Everybody has to love their banishing decks. Goblin Biker Grand Entrance. This is one of those weird ones that also saw a pretty big spike. I don't know if it was because of the new Goblin Biker support for Rage at the Abyss. If I remember right, I think there might have been some support for Supreme Darkness. Correct me if I'm wrong. However, these are 24 listings, with verifieds being about $8, quickly up to 11s, 12s, 15s. Just saw a lot of sales. So if I'm remembering right, I think there was support announced for Supreme Darkness. However, please correct me if I am wrong. Six Samurai Hatsume. Kind of the same thing we saw with Kizaru the last Market Watch. Hatsumes are 20 to 25 to 30, just because it doesn't have a reprint. And again, I'm pretty sure this is like maybe a 1 at most. I don't think this card is played in the new iteration of 6am. However, I could be wrong. I have not delved into the deck. I just sold most of my 6am cards, as I have no intention on playing the deck. Cunning. This is the supers out of glass. These are also gone. Just 15 plus for first eds. Just insane price here on these. I mean, I guess you could pay $15 a copy. I mean, who am I to tell you no? Then for the rest of the 6am stuff, if we filter by best-selling real quick, you can see 6am United, Rihan, Fuma, Shinai, like a lot of these more so staples for the deck. Kizan is way up. These are both super prints are worth a few bucks a piece. Grandmaster is one of those cards that everybody loves, the OG Secret. Just a really pretty card of this. And even the commons are kind of moving, but, you know, not as much as the single print secrets. And then we get into Duster. This is going to be the last card of the video. This is a really weird one. So the common Harpy's Feather Duster from the Trap Tricks structure is $2. I mean, I guess it makes sense. It is a staple. If you can play it, you probably should, even if it's inside, just because it's a strong card, but just made me laugh. We're getting the 2/4 century prints of this coming up soon with that video game, the Early Days collection or whatever they're calling it. So that'll be something to look forward to. It'll have this art, and then we'll also get this artwork, the tournament pack artwork, both in 1/4 century rare. Plus, we just got the new alt art. There's a lot of interesting stuff coming down the pipeline. Speaking of stuff coming down the pipeline, so we do have no updates on the new seller series yet. I am still trying to figure out how to... I've been playing around with DaVinci Resolve, trying to get used to editing. If I can't figure it out more optimally to kind of speed up my production, I will probably just release a really basic, non-edited new seller series. I know a lot of people are really looking forward to that. Otherwise, I'm going to continue taking my time on that series because I don't want to rush that evergreen content. Stuff like market watches is important to kind of get out as soon as you can, but stuff like tips for new sellers, that kind of stuff is, you know, it's going to stay around a lot longer and have a lot more staying power. It's going to be viewed a lot longer. Like a market watch can only be viewed for so long, really. Like a week at most. But yeah, little fun update that I want to show you guys here real quick. Speaking of like the new seller series, we do have an important update with the Whatnot. We hit 1K sales, and we already have access to instant pay. So on my next Whatnot show, we'll get to see the effects that instant pay has on myself as a seller, and who knows, I'm pretty sure that'll be able to translate into more product, more collections being purchased, and just quicker movement of inventory. So I'm actually really looking forward to the effect that that has on the Whatnot sales and the TCG sales in general. I do have to get my TCG player back up. It's been offline for a few weeks now, I think, at least into September. So, and we're halfway through October now, so I want to get that back up soon. However, I've been doing this massive spreadsheet overhaul. A lot of you guys know that I do keep a massive spreadsheet for my inventory. It was up to like 25,000 cards or something. I decided to completely overhaul that and make it easier for me in the future to add more cards from different sets. And that is turning... It's really kind of a pain because I have to manually import all of the quantity data, and I can't speed that process up. I have to go through each row and see, okay, what condition is this card? What print is this card? And then add the quantity data onto the new spreadsheet. However, once I'm done, I do want to come out with a, like the template, I guess, for the spreadsheet. So if anybody is interested in keeping their own, they'll have like a master ready, and all they have to do is fill out their quantities. I think that would be something pretty cool. So who knows, maybe that'll be a part, like a stretch goal of the new seller series. But I do want to start with a prelude to selling, essentially. Purchase supplies, figure out what you need, what you're going to sell, because there are a lot of different TCGs, and even on Whatnot you can sell things other than card games. So you have to figure out what your market's going to be and how you want to go about your business strategy. Do you want to do, like on Whatnot, do you want to do dollar starts? Do you want to do stacks? Do you want to be like a sudden death streamer? Like, hey, dollar start sudden death, 5 seconds, you know. There's a lot of intricacies that you have to take into account when you want to start selling, because once people have you flagged as a certain type of streamer, they're always going to expect that same type of content from you. And if you don't fall into that same content every time, your views and sales and everything else will be impacted. So that's all kind of stuff that I'm planning to talk about in the new sellers series. I just need to sit down, record, write the scripts, and it's just a lot of work, especially when I have all this other stuff behind the scenes. So we may end up releasing a bare bones version of it, but who knows. If you guys want to see a bare bones version, and maybe in the future when I have some more help, maybe we could get like an edited, pretty version. Who knows? We have a lot of stuff to think about. So expect another video sometime this week, hopefully. I want to... God, it's already Tuesday. Jesus. Yeah, I want to get at least one more video out this week. And I'm excited for locals this next weekend. Little summary of my last locals. I went 1-1-1. Runic stun. Won my first game 2-0. Lost my second game 0-2. Tied the third game 1-1. It was fun. The first round was against a player on Makanko. It's just really hard to do anything when I have Messenger apiece. You know, he kept tributing like Hugin and the few runics that I'd have on field with the kaijus, but it's like you can't really do much. So that was a fun game. And then my second round was against Voiceless, against one of the better players at the locals, and I got wrecked. For some reason, I don't even remember why, but I didn't set my Grave of the Super Ancient Organism. I went first on game 2, but I just didn't set it. So he just OTK'd me. And then game 3 was against Adventure True Draco Stun, and that was just kind of a stun mirror match. It was fun. I decked him out the one game, and I can't remember how he beat me the one game that he got, but I just didn't draw any names or anything. It was just just kind of a dud. But then game 3 we got to time. It was my draw phase, so there wasn't really anything I could do. I'm thinking about maybe doing emergency provisions, maybe. There's a couple other things that I want to lab with for the Runic Sun, but we can touch on that in a future video. Who knows if you guys want to see like deck profiles. I'm not going to do a deck profile myself until I get my first locals win. But yeah, who knows? Hopefully that won't be too much longer, but we'll have to wait and see. If you guys made it to the end of this video and stayed through the yap session, I don't know. Leave a little comment. Just let me know you made it to the end. And yeah, if you guys enjoy the market watches and the pack openings, if you guys didn't see the Roto pack opening, we opened a few mini boxes of that. Pretty cool. I opened a couple more cents, and I finally got... Oh, where is he? Finally got my boy Jaden in the token. I was pretty happy about that. So, mini boxes are kind of cool. I'm going to have to go pick up probably one or two more, try to finish the token set. But we're going to wrap it up before I keep yapping. It's almost my bedtime. So I hope you guys stay safe, stay hydrated, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. We'll see you guys later.